county, where we're about 90% public land, the PILT money comes to about 20% of our budget, or about 1.2, 1.3 million. So we have the same concern there. It would be dramatic to lose that money for our county.
Yes, and there again, it's not fair to you. You know, you didn't choose to have that much of your land owned by a sovereign government that chooses to declare itself exempt from property taxes. You know, there's no other property owner on the planet, whether it's an individual, a corporation, an association, whatever. There's no other entity of any kind that can afford to just own that much land and just have it sit. Nobody else can do that. Moreover, if any one entity or person owned more than, let's say, 5% or 10% of the land mass in any one state, people would get really freaked out, understandably and justifiably so, because of the ability of that landowner, owning, say, 10% of the land, to control ingress and egress, you know, access to various properties within the state, to control, to micromanage the state's economy. People would be understandably really freaked out, and they would not like the fact that that one landowner could micromanage that much of the state's economy. But the problem is expanded infinitely when that landowner is not just an individual, but a sovereign government that declares itself exempt from taxation. And the ownership is not just at 10%, it's at 67%. Now, this harkens back to something I quoted briefly on the Senate floor last night. This is a problem that has been foreseen for a long time. This was a problem that was foreseen all the way back in 1787, when the Founding Fathers were discussing Congress's authority over federal land. On September 5th, 1787, Elbridge Gerry, the delegate to the Constitutional Convention from Massachusetts, took to the floor, and he referred to the authority outlined in what's now Clause 17 of Article 1, Section 8. And he said that he was worried that, quote, this power might be made use of to enslave any particular state by Congress buying up its territory, and that the strongholds proposed would be a means of awing the state into an undue obedience to the general government. Well, look at what's happening here. Congress is awing the state of Utah and awing its 29 counties into a compelled obedience, a compelled undue obedience to the national government. And it's wrong. And it's got to stop. And we're going to use this as an opportunity to highlight PILT, highlight the need for it, and highlight its inadequacies and where it needs to be expanded.